Over the last couple of years, AI has just exploded, right? It's gone from this far-off concept to something we use every single day at work. But here's the thing. While the hype has been absolutely massive, the actual results for most companies, well, they're not quite what was promised. So let's dive into this really fascinating gap between how individuals are using AI and what's actually changing for the organization as a whole.
I mean, the adoption rate is just incredible. According to the 2025 Atlassian AI Collaboration Report, the daily use of AI in the workplace has literally doubled in just the past year. That's not a slow and steady climb, that's a rocket ship. Clearly, people are finding these tools super useful for their own work.
And it's not just about using it more often. People are really feeling the difference. They're reporting that they're a full 33% more productive on their individual tasks because of AI. They're writing code faster, drafting documents in a flash, analyzing data in seconds. On paper, this looks like a huge win.
So you'd think a tool that doubles its usage and makes everyone a third more productive would be revolutionizing companies left and right, wouldn't you?
Well, it turns out it's not that simple. There is a very big catch.
And this is it. This number right here should make every single business leader just pause. Only 4% of organizations are actually seeing real, meaningful, company-wide transformation from their AI investments. Just 4%. So what on earth is going on with the other 96%?
Well, they're getting stuck in what's being called the productivity collaboration gap. And this is the absolute core of the problem. We're getting really good at making individuals faster, but we're not making our teams or our organizations any smarter. All those little individual gains are just getting lost. They're not adding up to a bigger win. So how do the top 4% actually bridge this gap?
Turns out, they build their success on a solid foundation of 5 key pillars. See, it's not about having the one single fanciest AI tool. It's about building a strong, interconnected system. If you get these 5 things right, strategy, toolset, infrastructure, workforce, and solutions, you start building real momentum. But if even one of them is weak, the whole thing just stalls out.
And it all kicks off with Pillar 1, strategy. Because let's be honest, without a clear plan, AI isn't progress, it's just expensive noise.
This quote from the report just nails the problem. You've probably seen this happen. AI usually starts with a few excited people in one department, and for them, it's great. But when that work isn't tied to the company's bigger mission, that win stays in its little silo. It never gets bigger, it never scales, and it never creates real value for the organization.
So if you're looking around and seeing people getting faster, but the company as a whole isn't getting better, that's a huge red flag for a weak strategy pillar. The shift you have to make is to stop treating AI like a personal productivity toy and start treating it like the strategic asset it is. Right from the beginning of any project, the question has to be, how is this AI helping us reach our big, shared company goals?
Okay, next up we have Pillars 2 and 3, which are all about your integrated systems, the tech backbone. And really, this subtitle says it all. Your AI is only as smart as the data it can actually get its hands on.
And just let that sink in for a second. Nearly 80% of employees feel like their AI tools are basically flying blind. The AI is cut off from all this vital information that's locked away in different spreadsheets, documents, and apps scattered all over the company. That is a massive roadblock.
The symptom here is something a lot of us know all too well, tool sprawl. Dozens of different apps that don't talk to each other. The fix? You gotta consolidate. You have to move away from having 50 separate tools and instead focus on a few integrated platforms where data can flow freely. This basically creates a central brain for your AI to learn from, turning it from a simple personal assistant into a true organizational intelligence layer.
Now, for the human side of this whole equation, Pillar 4, your workforce. You can have the absolute best strategy and the coolest tech, but if your people don't trust it or don't actually use the tools, well, then none of it matters. At the end of the day, culture is what determines adoption.
And here is a super powerful insight on that. Employees are 4 times more likely to experiment with AI when they see their own manager using it. This isn't about some top-down mandate or a memo from HR. It's about leaders just modeling the behavior. It sends a really clear signal that trying new things is safe, it's encouraged, and it's valuable.
So if you're seeing some teams go all in on AI while other departments are totally resistant, that's a classic sign of a weak workforce pillar. The solution isn't to force everyone through another boring training session. No way. It's about creating a culture of experimentation. You've got to let people play with the tools, empower champions in your company to show off what's possible, and just make AI a visible part of how your teams work every day.
All right, on to our final pillar, solutions. This one is all about the user experience. To really work, AI can't feel like an extra step or another app you have to open. It needs to feel like a natural part of your team's everyday flow.
The symptom here is when using AI feels like a chore, something you have to go out of your way to do. The most successful companies are doing the exact opposite. They're embedding AI so seamlessly that it just becomes part of the process. Think about an AI note-taker that just automatically joins your meetings, or a system that tags all your documents for you without you even asking. It's not another tool, it's just an intelligent feature of the tools you already use.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. Because here's the key. These pillars aren't independent. A weakness in just one of them creates very specific, very predictable problems across the entire organization. And understanding how they're connected is how you can start to diagnose what's actually going wrong.
You can think of this table as a kind of diagnostic chart for your company. If you're dealing with silo tools and nobody's on the same page, your problem is likely your toolset and infrastructure. If you're seeing those isolated productivity gains that don't go anywhere, ding, 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 that points right back to a weak strategy. This helps you go from just knowing something feels off to pinpointing exactly where you need to focus.
So look, if you take away just one single thing from this, let it be this. Making individuals faster is not the same as making your organization better. Personal productivity is the starting line. It is not the finish line.
To get to that real transformation, you have to build on that solid foundation of all 5 pillars. You need a clear strategy that aligns AI to your real business goals, a consolidated toolset built on a connected infrastructure, a ready workforce that actually trusts the system, and finally, embedded solutions that make AI a totally natural part of how work gets done.
I absolutely love this quote because it just perfectly captures the end goal. It's not about adding another tool to the pile. It's about using AI to weave together the people, the knowledge, and the projects across your entire company. That's when you finally move from these little isolated gains to true, scalable transformation.
And that is the question I want to leave you with. As you look at the AI stuff happening in your own company, ask yourself this. Are we just building a collection of faster individuals? Or are we building a smarter, more connected organization? The answer to that question will decide whether your AI initiative stalls out or truly transforms the way you work.